Well, welcome neighbors. I'm John, your whiskey neighbor up north, and today I thought I would take a look at a couple of bourbons. It's been a while since I reviewed a bourbon, so I thought maybe I'll take a look at two just to sort of give viewers a reminder or an idea of my flavor taste profile of bourbon. So I'm going to look at Woodford Reserve. It's not their double oak or anything, it's just the Woodford Reserve Distiller Select. And a look at Elijah Craig, the one that still has the 12-year stamp. So come back after the break and I'll give you some thoughts on what I think about these bourbons. Well, again, thanks for joining me. It's so nice that the light is carrying on into the early evening, so videos can start looking a little better than when I think I shoot them in the basement. Want to talk about these two Kentucky distilled bourbons. This one here is Woodford Reserve. It's a Foreman Brown distillery, and it's released at 45%. There's not, like it's a Kentucky straight bourbon, there's not an age stamp on here. And I think they try to keep that something that they don't want to share. So I'm going to imagine anywhere between 6 and 8. That's just a ballpark. This actually was one of the first bourbons that I had, that I'd had neat. Right before that, I might have had it mixed or even on ice or whatever. But this is one of the first ones that I remember buying and pouring just to try to find that what is that bourbon profile. I think it's a little bit higher rye. From what I read, their mash bill is around a 72% corn, 18% rye, and the balance in barley. Yeah, what else can I share about that? I think Woodford, I think they used, it's called a sour mash for a little bit of their product, maybe not all of it, but where they run some of their mash bill through like a pot still, and then they put that back in and run it all through the column still. Sorry, the sour mash is when you take some of the finished fermentation and you put it back in to start the next fermentation tub. I really should, do a better job than just saying that, but I think they do a little bit of that in Woodford. Coming over to Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig, now if you just go to the shelf, certainly where it sells very quickly or more popular, you'll only see small batch, which is a non-age stamp. They've replaced their 12-year with that. Here in Canada, actually, it's still very common. We're in 2018, and I remember going out and buying a couple of bottles of this, thinking, oh, I'm not going to see it again. But it's all over the shelves still. So the 12-year, this is 47% ABV. Did I say the percentage on Woodford? Sorry, Woodford is 45.2. And this is 47, so fairly close in alcohol strength. This is a 12-year-old. I think the mash bill here is a little less rye, 75 corn. I'm going to say 13 rye and the balance in barley. I just remember that the Woodford was a little higher, like 18 and 13. Those are really the only numbers I remember. I did read the other ones. But, where I am, up here around the Edmonton area, these are priced almost the same, exactly the same, even though I think they're fairly different bourbons. But that's why I thought I'd put them in a bit of a comparison. So quickly looking at the Woodford Reserve. What do I catch with that? Well, these have been sitting here for a good 15 minutes. And the nose is light cherry, sweetness of corn. It's tough to find barrel in there. Yeah, more sweetness, vanilla. Yeah, I think so. Coming over to the Elijah Craig, 12-year-old. Oh, a more welcoming nose. Oh, it's like you take a little bit of that cherry, but now you toast it in sugar, so you've got a bit of that burnt Must be, I guess, a bit of the wood or the oak wrapping around the caramel. Yeah. Darker cherry. Heavier fruit. Richer nose. Okay. I know. Should be a blind test. That would be way more accurate. But come back to Woodford. Yep, lighter, simpler, but nice. Nice nose. Give it a taste. I expect it to be spicier with that amount of rye. Flavor profile. It's reasonably smooth, especially up front. It comes on quite smooth. I don't like the finish very much, but going back to palate, very light fruits, vanilla again. Finish is medium. You know, the whole experience is fairly smooth. It's fairly approachable in the nose. It's tasty, kind of sweet in the palate. It's a little bitter on the back end. That's where you're going to catch more of the wood. Pretty common in whiskey. But it's actually quite nice. It is nice to drink neat, to sip that way. Coming back to Elijah Craig. Oh, I should have. Hang on. Just a bit of water. Okay. Boy, what a richer nose. Oh, it's interesting. In terms of spicy, it's almost as spicy. Not quite, but just as the nose. There's more flavor notes in here. I would describe a variety of fruits I could go through, from a lighter cherry to a darker to a apple. But throughout that experience, it's like the caramel is stronger, but it's toasted, or maybe it's that barrel char that's coming around. Finish is something to enjoy. Longer, richer, more oak in it. Okay, so I think you can pretty much catch my personal preference between these two. But I definitely, I really feel that Woodford, puts together a classy package. It looks nice. And it pours well. It's quite approachable, vanilla, sweet. There's that corn sweetness as well. And it's got some flavor from that rye. I'm not sure how the sour mash affects it. It doesn't, I don't know. I can't describe that very much. Maybe it's younger. Maybe it tastes younger. But I would enjoy it neat. Really, it's about 3 stars. I know it's pretty much my base. It's because I like whiskey and I hate to give things less. And this isn't less. I do like Woodford Reserve. But today, I'm not sure why I poured it against Elijah Craig. I do know why. I went down and I looked at my rack of bourbon that's open, that I've been having a bit recently. I didn't want to crack something new that I haven't had for a long time, and then I can't really describe it well. But Elijah Craig, if you for some reason haven't had Elijah Craig, it's a wonderful bourbon. It has a lot more layers. You can spend more time with it. You can pick up the wood and the oak and the char, but then you also can get fruits, dark, like a richer cherry. You go from more than just vanilla into that really caramel, toffee, toasted notes. It's just a richer bourbon experience. So for me, but everyone, again, I just posted a video recently on a Canadian whiskey, and internet's wildly different than I think I responded to it, but that really speaks of our own personal preferences or taste profiles. So Woodford, nice and neat, really 3 stars, but Elijah Craig, I haven't had the small batch, but people online, there's quite a few videos out there really talk about how it's still a great product. But certainly their 12-year for me is a 4-star bourbon for sure. So a fair difference between these two for me. If I were to just go and go, oh, what would I like? Happy with this. I love Elijah Craig. So thanks, comment. Maybe you see it differently. Maybe I've said something wrong about Heaven Hill's Elijah Craig or Brown-Forman's Woodford Reserve. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Subscribe or catch me on social media. I do like the community building on YouTube though. So if you've seen this on Facebook and you've liked my Facebook page, hey, that's cool. I put it out there so it finds you where you are. But I think it's pretty cool if you can become part of the YouTube community. Thanks again, John, your whiskey neighbor, in this quick bourbon showdown on a Sunday afternoon. I like Elijah Craig 12. Thanks. You guys take care.